Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Marc Antomattei. And before we get things kicked off today, just a quick reminder, the new book is out, 50 Japanese Whiskies, available on Amazon.com and other book outlets. Make sure you go and get yourself a copy of this. This is the Whiskey Book of the Year. Just forget about that other guy that has a book out there that everybody's complaining about. If you want a book that you won't complain about, make sure that it's this one. Today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing, this is the Kirin Pure Malt Whisky, vatted and bottled by Kirin Distillery Co. Limited. If you guys want to, just a quick note, pure malt. This term is one of those terms that's pretty much only used in Japan currently. It's sort of an archaic term, and it means that this is a blend of many different malts. So this is not a single malt whiskey, but rather a blend of malts. So we're going to review this one today. You know what? I have this one reviewed inside of my book. I'm going to go ahead and read the review direct verbatim out of the book and let you guys get a sample of this. As you guys can see, the screw cap on this one is still tight. This has been unopened, but I have drank this before, and I'm going to tell you guys the story of that. Well, I guess that's kind of all intertwined with what I have written inside the book. Let's take a look around the bottle real quick. There's a bunch of kanji here just saying the name of what this is. And here there is some English. It says on the bottle, the cool climate of the high plains, air purified by the deep forest, the mist that blankets the distillery grounds many times over the course of a year. All these things make the Fuji Gotemba Distillery an ideal location for crafting. I really don't remember how much I paid for this, but I guess that information should be available inside the book as well, so I'll reference that real quick. Before I get into that, this is a 500 milliliter bottle. It looks very similar to the Akashi bottles, almost exactly the same as those. And this one is cut at 40% ABV. And to all my American kinfolk out there, that would be 80 proof. So we're going to be reviewing this one today. Let me go ahead and open up this book. You know what? First of all, let me pour the dram, and then we can do all that. Makes no sense to have an empty glass but not have anything inside of it. Let me make sure I got this microphone on me good. All right. Let me pour myself a little bit of a decent helping here. It's actually been a while since I had drank much of any type of whiskey. What do you think? You guys think that's good? I think that's quite all right. Go ahead, put this lid back on real quick. And let's put this up here for display. Let you guys know what you're looking at there. All right. Kampai to you wherever you are out in the world. Looking forward to drinking with you. All right. And here we are. Opening up the book now. I don't even remember what page it's on, but I can thumb through it and get there pretty quickly. Let's see. So this is in my book. This is entry number 18, and it appears on page number 45. So there we are. I'm mentioning something at the top about subsequent Kirin reviews. I said you will hear me mention this a lot about my visit to the Fuji Gotemba Distillery on November 7th, 2017. Wow, that was 3 years ago that I had this. 3 years ago. The date that I'm shooting this video, it's pretty much November of 2020 right now. They tell me to never say the date, but you know, I'm gonna go ahead and do it just this one time because I like to make these timeless videos. Once you say a date, it's kind of like it's putting a timestamp on things. Or audio if you're listening to this, because I am going to try to put this up as a podcast. Let's see. Lost my place there. I drank 7 whiskeys while there, meaning the Fuji Gotemba Distillery. And out of those, 5 were new first-time tastings for me. This one, in particular, was the 7th and last whiskey I had in that tasting session. But of course, the listings in this book are not in the order that I drank them in. And I mentioned what I had said earlier. This whiskey is a pure malt, as the name states. That is a limited edition from Kirin. It is found only on site at the Fuji Gotemba Distillery and Drink X, or maybe it's called Drinks, the Japan-only online Kirin shop. So 2 places. You can either order this from Kirin's online website, or you can buy it on site at the distillery. Just one or the other. And I ended up getting this bottle a little bit later. I bought it off the internet, although, as I just said, I had it for the first time 3 years ago. Blender Motoki Takeshige, who isn't quite as famous or well known as Master Blender Jota Tanaka, is responsible for this particular drink. This whiskey, made from various kettles, initially used for grain whiskey and column stills, aims at creating a freestyle blended malt whiskey. It can be enjoyed comfortably either straight, on the rocks, with water, or in highballs, as stated by Takeshige. Kirin claims this is a light and soft, clean but rich taste. This has a light and soft, clean but rich taste. And I put a little asterisk sign down here, and it says, according to Japanese whiskey terminology, a blend of many different malt whiskeys, pure malt. All right, so the price for this one, I paid 2,980 Japanese yen. That's roughly about $30. And yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the tasting. Blow those fumes off. So I'm having a little bit of a disagreement with what I wrote inside the book. Smells like a typical malt whiskey. But here on my pages, the first thing that I wrote is it has a pretty unpleasant, strong malt aroma. To say unpleasant, well, I disagree with those words now, but I wrote this 7 years ago. I wrote this 3 years ago on 2017. So yeah, it's quite all right. It's actually quite light. Wow, a big difference time makes. Or why was it so strong and unpleasant then, but it's fine now? I guess it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and get into the tasting. I wrote malty, middle of the road in terms of strength, mild fruit taste, and mild sweetness. And that's something that I still agree with now. Met every single one of those. The finish, I wrote that the finish, it's rounded and it leaves a lasting impression. And that lasting impression is very chewable And let's see. It's not chocolatey, but it's kind of up the chocolate alley, but it's not a chocolate aftertaste. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Overall, this is definitely a good one. Truly so. It's a keeper, especially for the price that you have to pay for it. For Japanese whiskey, 3,000 Japanese yen, I would say that's very affordable and cheap because the prices are becoming exuberant and they're just going up through the roof, even on no-age statements from all of these different distilleries. They're getting away with murder here in Japan. And I'm lucky I'm trying these things as soon as possible before they go up even higher, to say the least. But yeah, that one is very chewable. Does leave a lasting impression. I can't put my finger on it, what that flavor is, but it's almost it's like kind of a bit of maple. Not very sweet in the aftertaste, a very sweet maple, but it is a type of maple-esque taste, a little bit stronger. Not so sweet, but yeah. Very good, all in all. One more time, let me show you the pages of this book. Beautiful pictures I have inside of this one. I have pictures for every single whiskey that I review, a full page image for it of the bottle so you know what you're looking for when you head out to the market to go shopping. And yeah, this book is beautiful. And we're coming up to the holiday season. Trust me, your father's going to love this. And especially if your father's a whiskey collector, have it available in paperback and in hardcover. For all the whiskey collectors out there, because I know you guys spend the coin. You guys are, let's not sugarcoat it. You guys are pretty much rich. You guys can afford this, and it's not going to break the bank for you. And yeah, it's not going to hurt you at all, especially seeing to how you guys are spending $1,000, $2,000, almost $3,000 on some of these exotic bottlings of high-age Japanese whiskey and these high-age scotches and things like that. Come on, this is not going to affect you at all. And in fact, a nice, high-quality, expensive book like this is going to complement your high-quality whiskey collection. Anywhere you have a shelf or like a cage, like a glass cage, and you got all your whiskeys up there on the shelf, this book needs to be right in the center of all of those. As it'll complement your display very well. Already started working on the next one. Tentatively, that's going to be released sometime next year, hopefully mid-year, but it might be end of the year when I get it done. I thought I would be getting this one done within a year, but it actually took me 3 years to get it done. So, but once you knock the first one out of the park, it's so much easier to do the next one because I know the routine from here on out. Let me go ahead and finish this real quick. Pretty good. If you come to Japan, pick this one up. Because I know most of my viewers, most of my friends are out there in America. You might even be out in Europe. Westerners are not going to have this drink. This is purely a Japanese thing, so when you bring it back with you, it's going to be a head turner and it's going to be a conversation starter. You need things like this in your collection. I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my palate because I'm thinking about shutting down the camera and doing another review right after this, although they will be uploaded on different days. Anyways, I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. I'm forgetting all my lines here. Make sure that you drink responsibly, and as always, gentlemen, you know what to do. Keep it classy. All right.